Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for, let's just call it fresh, hypoallergenic, and prepared daily Bible study just for you. 5 minutes a day, that's all we ask. It's verse by verse through the Psalms. Today we're in Psalm 106. We're going to look at verses 40 through 44. This section begins with a therefore. I'll read it and then we'll decide why it's therefore. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction, when he heard their cry. Ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? I love that verse 44. 40 through 43 is kind of dark, friends. It's not as dark as 35 through 39, but there's still darkness there because the people have sinned. So I said, after the reading of this, we're going to go back and talk about the therefore. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled. Why? Well, go back and look at 35 through 39 and you'll find out why. Because the people had been sacrificing their children. Innocent blood had polluted the land. And ladies and gentlemen, I said yesterday, this is America. We have polluted our land with innocent blood as well. We've sacrificed via abortion to convenience, to our own sexual sins and rebellions. We have said the Lord is not the creator of all things, and we've demonstrated our belief in that by killing our own children. So, what will happen? Here's what's going to happen. If he does this in 40 through 43 to his people Israel, don't you think that he'll take an even harder stand with people in America? I believe he will. We have nothing more to look forward to than the judgment of God because we refuse to turn away from our sinning in this area of abortion. He gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies oppressed them. They were brought into subjection under their hand. Are you telling me that God won't do that? Now we see this cycle of oppression and subjection in the kings and in the story of the kings and the story of the judges, in the book of Judges and in the book of Samuel and Kings and Chronicles. We see this cycle, that the people sin, they retrograde, they repent, the Lord saves them, there's revival and deliverance, and then after a time the people sin again. That's happened to Israel, but I'm telling you, because of America's failure to do something about the Holocaust of human life in our own land, the streets of our cities are running with human blood, and the blood of the innocent children that we are sacrificing, and God is going to deal with us. You don't think there are people that hate America who want to oppress and subject us under their hand? Oh, yes. And we need to be careful. We need to cry out from the pulpits, from the housetops, from the street corners. Holocaust of life must come to an end. And it can. There's still hope. Verse 44. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. If the church will get on its knees and cry out to the Lord, I believe there still can be hope for America. The judgment is still going to come. In this cry comes after judgment. And I think maybe that's what it's going to take. It's going to take affliction for us before we really get busy with the Lord and find ourselves on our knees before Him, crying out for our country and for the lives that are lost and for the lives that we can save. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the church in our affliction to cry out. Let's start now before the judgment comes. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow on Daily Dose Radio as we read verses 45 through 48, a prayer of the exiled people. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.